afternoon for a little Fancred Friday. Going to take some of your calls here face to face on the Fancred app. You can get on the fan line. If you don't have the app and you're watching us on YouTube, go to fancred.com. Or if you already have the Fancred app on your phone, all you have to do is punch up Fancred, click on the join the fan line up in the upper corner. I think it's the right corner on the Fancred app. And then you and I are going to be chatting face to face about Survivor, about anything you want. Just don't spoil me on the Breaking Bad movie. I haven't watched it yet. All right, top right corner. I'm being told by Cam, who's producing this show today, top right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the chat also so I can see what you guys are saying. But 3 weeks in here on Survivor Island of the Idols. I think it's been a fun start to the season so far. Really enjoying seeing what Rob and Sandra are having everybody go do. I thought the task this week was really fun. Sad to see Vince go. I had a nice chat with Vince on the exit interview yesterday. I thought it was a lot of fun. I got Vince on the phone, and the first thing I wanted to do was, Vince, are you okay? I want to make sure, Vince, you're not too distraught right now. You're not emotionally just completely speechless to talk to me, right? No, that's only Rob and Sandra that he was not ready to, or was overcome by the emotion of it all. So I had got the chance to talk to Vince, and I thought I had a really fun podcast with Ron Clark as well on Friday. So yesterday, which was Thursday. So had a nice chat with Ron, who that was a great person to talk to, because Ron, of course, is a legendary teacher, a idol to many teachers. And then here you have Rob and Sandra, who are teaching these survivors everything that they know about how to play in the game. So we're going to go ahead and, 30, 40 minutes here. We're going to take your questions. Go ahead. We did this last Friday as well. And hope to keep this a regular thing in this time slot. If you want to call in and talk to your boy about everything that's going on in the world of Survivor. And we'll take questions from the chat as well, if you have them. Let me just go ahead. I'm going to pop that open here on my laptop so I could see what you guys are saying as we go along. Okay. Let's see. Frotha says, I didn't even know there was a Breaking Bad movie. Yes. It dropped at, I think, midnight last night on Netflix. I am working on a podcast over the weekend with Antonio Mazzaro. Looks like we've got somebody on the line. Let's go ahead and patch them in. I want to make sure I'm getting the name right. This is we have a caller from Nigeria coming in. Okay, I hope it's a scam. Yes.
What's up, man?
How are you? How do I pronounce your name?
Diffie.
Diffie.
Yes.
How are you? And you're a Survivor fan.
Big Survivor fan. Am I your first caller from Nigeria?
I'm first caller that I've talked to live. I've heard from listeners that we have in Nigeria, but this is a first to get a live call, and I'm very excited to talk to you.
Me too. I'm excited. Thanks for picking.
Yeah, you got it. All right. So what's going on? What do you think about the Island of the Idols? What do you want to talk about?
My question is not even about Island of the Idols.
Forget it. What do you want to talk about? Don't spoil me on the Breaking Bad movie. I didn't watch it yet.
I haven't even watched it yet.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I want to ask how did Kim end up following you for the Millennial vs. Gen X finale? That's just been a weird thing. She hasn't come back since. It's just something that happened.
So, okay. Well, you really know your stuff. Okay. So you say that what happened between me and Kim at the Millennials versus Gen X finale? That was the last time I talked to her. I had to have talked to her since then.
No, that's the last finale she went to.
Oh, that was the last finale. Well, she lives in Texas, so she flew in for that one, and then it was hard. Yeah, because we saw her. We went to Texas, and she was with us back during Survivor 35. But yeah, I don't think she makes it out to LA that much.
Okay, so because it's just that she liked that season and she just wanted to come.
Yeah, I think that it was, Kim has 3 kids in the span. I think that, so I have 2 boys, and I think that Kim somehow had 3 kids in less time than I had the 2. And I think it was crazy, and I think that her husband was he's a really nice guy. I think he let her have some Kim time, and she came out to the finale, and because she was coming out, I said, hey, you should do the interviews with me if you're going to be at the finale. So that's how that happened, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. I recently became a $10 patron from 5.
Oh, so yeah, welcome aboard. That was it. That's all you wanted to talk about. Why doesn't Kim Spradlin come to the finale more?
No, it's just a weird thing that she only did one, and it's just like, what happened there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was with me for one. I'm trying to think if anybody else. I know Josh Wigler did it with me at one of the finales.
Steven was or Philippines or something like that. It was on the phone.
Did Steve? Yeah, Steven. You really know your stuff. Steven
was. I'm a big fan. So
yeah, I think Parvati was with me in person, but then Steven was on the phone. Maybe Steven will come out to the finale this season now that he's out in Los Angeles too.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Okay. Okay. Diffie. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right. That was wild. Very very specific. He knows everything about RHAP. Lynn says, "Why does Boston Rob always look drunk this season? Because there's a lot of time down." All right, Lynn, get out of here. Stop it with that. Boston Rob does not look drunk on the season of Survivor. You're drunk, maybe, if that's what you think about Boston Rob. Does not look drunk. Get out of here. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Joseph asks, Rob, can you explain the calculation for Vince if he had a full idol versus a limited time idol? Well, I think that the calculation is much more in the favor of that you got to play that idol if you have it, especially if there's an expiration date on it. It's like if you have a gift card and you're in the store and, well, I don't really see anything that I like here, but, it expires next week. They might not have anything new in the store by next week that you're going to want. So you might as well just burn it while you have it because you don't want to waste it. I asked Vince about this in my exit interview yesterday. And what he said was that he thought that there was going to be a chance that the swap was coming up and that he was going to then have to use it in a swap situation. And that was why he didn't end up using it. But I think that, Steven and I talked about this on Wednesday, and I think that the rule is turning into if you have an idol and you can use it for a little while, then you have to use it. You got to use it. All right. Lauren from Kentucky is on the line. Home of Elaine Stott, home of Nick Wilson, home of Brent Wolgamott, and home of Lauren, who's joining us on the fan line. Lauren, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I've never been able to call in before. I've been a patron for a little bit, and
cool.
I've been able to call in. Yeah.
All right, so here we are. We're live on Fancred. What do you want to talk about?
So I just finished the podcast with Ron Clark. It was great. I always love hearing from him.
Yeah, I thought he was great. Yeah, I've been a little bummed out this morning when I, because I'm an emotional wreck, that I put a podcast out and I thought, everybody's going to say that they liked it. And then I feel like that people haven't really gotten to it this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just showed up in my podcast feed a couple hours ago, so I just finished it recently.
Okay. Yeah, I thought Ron was great, though. Okay, so Lauren, what was your question?
So I was just thinking, it got me thinking in the podcast you did with Ron, how much agency do you think Rob and Sandra have on the challenges they get to do? Do you think they spend their 3 days off coming up with their lesson plans for producers, or do you think sorry, my dog is adamant that he wants to be in the shot. He keeps.
What's your dog's name?
I've got Dean and Sam over here. Sam is.
Dean, like the Survivor.
Yes, Dean like Survivor. Here's Dean, and then Sam is asleep.
Send it.
Yes. Yeah. So do you think that production comes up with these challenges, or do you think Rob and Sandra pitch their ideas?
Yeah. That's a really good question. So from what I understand that, Jeff talked about how, they worked with Rob and Sandra, but Rob and Sandra are producing these segments. So I think that what they did was that they sort of worked hand in hand with production. Maybe, okay, all right, then the third episode is going to be about this. The fourth episode is going to be about this. So I think that they worked because, Boston Rob might have had an idea of, okay, so here's what we're gonna do, and then the production was like, no, we're not doing that,
No,
because Sandra has some wacky ideas too. She might be saying like, okay, we're this, we're gonna, make this guy, sleep in the ocean, and they said, no, we can't do that, Sandra. So I think that they worked with the production team to come up with what they were gonna do, and then. So Rob and Sandra they're on the same page as production, I would think.
Yeah, I tweeted it, Mike and Liana, that it felt like Sandra this episode was just on the payroll for the B&B, coming up with, crawling in the ground, and Rob is like, what are you doing? Like, this is over the top, and it just felt straight content just made right for the B&B.
Well, the funniest part, and I don't know how it's going to play on a podcast, was when Sandra was standing behind the giant palm frond. Like, what was she teaching him? Like, okay, it's just like this. You don't want to make sure you don't have any part of your body sticking out. You want to be completely hidden.
Right, I get black, but you want to make sure grab some palm fronds along the way to hide behind.
Yeah, so that was really fun. Yeah, I enjoyed the B&B this past week, also with Haley Strong.
Oh yeah, it's always a great time. I was just listening actually to the Masked Singer wrap up right before I came on.
You're a real Liana stan.
Well, I have about a 40-minute commute to school and work, so I have a lot of time for audio content. So I make it through quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite Masked Singer character so far?
I think probably mostly because Liana has probably incepted our brains. I think Egg is the only one we're allowed to stand at this point. But I haven't watched it before. This is the first season. Last season I had heard about it and didn't watch it, and I was like, why not? And I'm just here for the ridiculousness. It's entertaining.
Do you have a guess who the Egg is?
Well, I think was the Egg unmasked. I think the Egg was unmasked already.
Oh, okay. No spoil. Don't spoil.
Yeah.
Don't spoil.
So I can't keep track of everything. But
and to bring it full circle, I'm going to talk to Lyrsa tonight, who is the queen of Survivor Eggs.
Yes, the Egg Queen. We'll have to see if she has any thoughts on the Egg being on the Masked Singer.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Lauren, this was so nice to get to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to call in today. I'm home today, so it worked out.
Okay. Take care. Bye, Lauren.
Right.
Okay. All right. Chuck says Sandra would make a coupon challenge. I love the idea of Sandra couponing. I think that's so funny. Then Noah in New York is on the fan line. Okay, let's see if it's the same Noah from last time. Let's see. Noah's on the fan line. Night Owl wants to know. Yes. Yes. But not on Fancred.
No, I was not the Noah from Fancred. No.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think last time we had two different that for some reason that this is Survivor Noah it alls. It's just that all people named Noah call in on this show.
I wanted to keep the trend going, so
Yes. Okay. All right, Noah. Your connection, so your audio is a little in and out. So let me just get your question.
Yeah, my question is just to talk about the next person that goes to Island Idol. How do they not get voted out for threat like Vincent?
Well, I would say that it's going to be somebody from the other tribe. So that's I'm sorry, Noah. Sorry we had to let you go, but we're having just an issue with your audio. So it's going to be somebody from the other tribe because it's gone back and forth. I actually, when I was watching the episode the other day, I said, oh, wait, hold on. They didn't show us Vince picking a name out of the bag. I wonder if that means that it's going to be some sort of a tribe swap and everybody will stand on like a disc or like pull a buff out of the bag. And then the person that doesn't get the buff has to go to the Island of the Idols. But it doesn't look like we're going to get that sort of tribe swap for the next episode. So maybe that's going to be a thing in Vokai in Lero. But Vokai doesn't know that Vince was the person that went to the Island of the Idols, I wouldn't think, and wouldn't know that was the reason why he ended up being the person to get voted out. Henry in Ontario is back on the fan line. Let me talk to Henry and see what Henry has going on this Friday afternoon. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. Here's Henry from last week. Henry, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you again. Okay. Henry has a hat, that you hold the Boston Rob rule book over your heart.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Okay. Did you play for your friend when I recorded the message last week?
Yes. He actually goes to a different college. So what I did, I asked him to record a reaction video. I said, go to this video, go to this timeline, and then just hit play and enjoy the show.
Yes.
And he was laughing so hard when you gave him the shout out.
Okay, yeah. You should have just played the audio for him and then see if he would have thought it was Boston Rob and Penner.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Next time, next friend, we'll do that. We'll do that to them. Okay. So Henry, what do you want to talk about?
Okay. In a secret scene,
yes,
I believe Rob said that his kids have no idea he's back on Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think his kids actually think Rob is?
It's a good question. Well,
lie.
So, I'm friends with Rob, and so, I have a little bit of a window into, the kinds of stuff that he does, in his real life. So it's not uncommon for Boston Rob to work, like a construction job and, be in New York for a couple of months, or, he's on the road a lot with poker. So I don't think it would be crazy for, him to be on some sort of like a month-long job. Like, it would be weird if, I was missing from my house for, 5 weeks. My kids would not get that. But I do think that Rob does tend to travel a lot for work between different construction opportunities that he's worked on, or also, that sometimes he's like, in these poker tournaments for, a week or two at a time. So I think that they probably told the kids that he was doing something work related, but not that it was going to be Survivor.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember Rob did some sort of live stream a few years ago, and he said that his kids ask him and Amber all the time when they're going to go back on Survivor.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be the trickier thing to explain to the kids. Where if both of them ever left, that would be the tougher thing to explain.
Well, I think they might be on Survivor 40.
I have not heard. That's not what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what else is going on?
Packing up to head home for the weekend. It's Thanksgiving in Canada.
Oh, happy that is it called Canadian Thanksgiving? Or did that
I think we just call it Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We just have it at a different time than Americans.
Okay. All right. So and that's going to be on is that Monday?
Yeah, because we have school off on Monday.
Yeah. We always have it on a Thursday. How is that Thanksgiving on a Monday?
That's pretty good. Nice little 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend, but then you have to go back to work. Like, we have it at the start of a long weekend. It ends up being like a 4-day weekend. Not sure. Not sure I like the Thanksgiving on a Monday.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, and then does everybody go shopping on Tuesday?
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
My mom
That's when all the sales start?
Yeah, my mom said she wasn't able to find a turkey, so we may just have to get chicken from Minos.
Can't find a turkey? What, is it hard to find a turkey?
They sell out quick.
Okay. All right, turkey, chicken. Not a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else going on?
About Kelly's idol.
Yes.
So she can play it at one of the next 3 tribal councils. She didn't play it at the Molly vote.
Right.
But with the Vince vote, did that count as the
I think it counts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if her tribe wins immunity, then her idol is dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
She didn't get to use it. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see when we have all these people with all these idols and what idol expires when. Like, we're going to need some sort of a index or, some sort of an update of like how many idols are actually in the game, because I podcast about the show and I can't keep track of, how many idols. Luckily, Vince got voted out with his. With it, we saw that. Okay. So Chelsea still has one. That Elizabeth didn't get one, and Kelly's is good for one more week. So after, if this week goes by, and then it's just going to be whoever gets a new one, then Chelsea, and then Kelly's is going to be off the board.
Yeah, a lot of people seemed upset to see Vince go.
Mm-hmm. Not you?
Well, in my fantasy pool, I didn't have him on my team, but about half the people I'm competing against did.
Okay, all right.
But he got like 40 points in this episode.
Oh, well, he got a lot of points, but he went out with a bang. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for the call. Okay, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good
All right.
talking to you again, Rob.
Great to talk to you as well. All right. Also want to shout out the fan line on the Fancred app. You want to call in, you're watching us on YouTube, go to fancred.com, get the Fancred app on your mobile device, and then you're going to click to join the fan line in the upper right-hand corner on the app. And then we could talk through whatever you want to talk about. Kim Spradlin, you want to talk about the Island of the Idols, you want to talk about anything going on, go ahead and join in here on a Fancred Friday. So I'm seeing that the Night Owl says in the UK, we have no holiday between the end of August and Christmas Day. Okay. Wow. You gotta get one. Highly recommend it. Let's see. Christy Paynes, do you think that Rob and Sandra got to keep touch with their family during the filming? Yeah, I'm not sure. I would guess like if they did, if it was an emergency, they would let them, but I'm not sure. We don't get too much insight into that. LP says maybe Shannon Gates' brother can make a flow chart for the idol expiration dates since he doesn't have Chizzy charts to make. Okay. If Jason Gates could get on that, that would be fantastic as well. Okay. Night Owl did not like Vince. Vince was just okay. Let's see if we have another caller on the fan line. This is your shot to get in. Okay, so the other thing I was going to do, this is my fallback of if I was going to cast Breaking Bad with Survivors, then this is what I'm going to do. Wait, Connor in South Carolina is on the fan line, but if you guys aren't going to call in, I'm gonna cast Survivor Breaking Bad. Okay, all right, not Survivor Breaking Bad. I'm gonna cast Breaking Bad with Survivors. All right, let's bring on Connor. Let's see what Connor said. Connor, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, my lighting's awful. My roommate's doing laundry in the other room, so I'm fortunately stuck with terrible lighting.
You're okay, Connor. I think we can hear you. So what's going on?
Finished midterm, so binge watching Survivor, enjoying myself. Fall coming up, so excited about that. Enjoy.
All right, I think I might have jinxed that we have good audio. Here's just try that one more time.
Well, it happened for me, so I my midterm, so that's done. So
okay,
for that.
Okay, midterms.
Yeah,
I got that.
Midterms are done, so I'm excited. I'm just gonna watch Survivor weekend and send in my application and stuff. That's exciting.
Okay, Connor, do you have a question?
Yes, my is basically just for the I wonder what jurisdiction Rob Sandra applies away as far as advantages, because oh god, what the hell? As far okay, there we go. As far as advantage,
You're doing okay, Connor. Okay, all right. You're doing all right. All right.
Oh, that's better. That was a million deal. Anyways, so my question was, what are Rob and Sandra's like leeway as far as your advantages go? Because we've seen them give away titles, but I wonder if they're allowed to be like, hey, you can attend private crow's nest and get information.
Mm-hmm.
What's their leeway? Because all
so that's a good point. That's a good question. Can Rob and Sandra give things away outside of idols? And thank you very much for Connor for the call. I do think that we will see them give away things that aren't just idols. I know it's starting as immunity idols. I wonder if maybe they might give away a vote steal. I think it'll be primarily idols, but I wonder if they'll have like different advantages in the game that they'll give away. But again, that they have worked with production in terms of what they can and cannot give away and what the lessons are going to be for each step in the game. Okay, let's see. Then we got Chuck in Dallas on the fan line. Let's go. Let's try Chuck in Dallas. See if he can. See if he's pumped up for the Cowboys being able to take on the Jets this weekend. Chuck, how are you?
Hey, Rob. I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Chuck, what's new?
Nothing much. I am excited about the Cowboys game.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you excited about it?
I'm excited that Sam Darnold is going to be back.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting. Chuck, are you watching any dogs today?
I'm watching my own dog. He's sleeping.
Okay.
The other dog, he actually got shipped up to Washington and adopted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess Washington and the Northwest has a shortage of dogs right now. I don't know how that's possible, but
okay. And what's your dog's name?
the Bayou.
Bayou. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. I know a woman that she named her dogs Dean and Sam after Dean from Survivor and Sam from Big Brother.
Wow. That is pretty impressive. She must have two pretty new dogs.
Yeah.
or just change their names on a whim. Send it.
That's right. So that's what they did to the dog that went to Washington.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He got shipped on a bus with like 50 other dogs, and then he got adopted in like 2 days.
Was it a Greyhound bus? Or they let all breeds of dogs on?
All breeds. They didn't discriminate.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Chuck.
So my question was, do you think that Vince, I guess Vince should have played his idol. Like what?
Vince should have played his idol, definitely.
But is there a reason he didn't?
So in my exit interview, I asked him about that, and he said, obviously he didn't think he was going home, and then also I think he thought that the idol was going to loom large in a post-swap tribal council. Okay. So yeah. I think that he was more concerned. He said, "Okay, I'm with the women here," and I think he was probably more concerned about how if we get swapped to a group of 5. He could be somebody who gets targeted in a swap when it ends up being a tribe of 5 people.
Did he get whispered to by Karishma?
No, he did not.
And that didn't concern him?
No, I don't think so. I asked him what he thought was going on in the exit interview, and he thought that she was just trying to make sure that she was going to be safe. And so that's why. But there were some red flags that I think Vince could have keyed into, and those are all things that are easier the second time you play than the first time you're out there.
That's true, and it's much easier sitting on your couch commentating.
Yes, yeah, that's when it's the most easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Chuck, anything else going
on? No, not really. I've been watching through Australian Survivor because
how far are you?
I just got to the swap, and then I just got past where Harry and Luke are. No, not Harry. Where David and Luke are playing really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I watched South African Survivor, and I didn't think that I could handle 2 international seasons at once, so I started an Australian one after.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, enjoy the Australian Survivor.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Chuck. Okay. All right. Scott in Seattle is on the fan line. And then Robot Taryn was are you going to recap El Camino with Antonio Mazzaro? And I think it's going to happen. That's my Hector Salamanca. Scott, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay. How's it going?
Pretty good.
What's new?
I had a couple thoughts about. Sorry, I hear the producer in the background. Anyway, I had a couple thoughts on some questions that you guys have been talking about. The first, I heard them say you would be good at the next 2 tribals you go to, which implies that if they don't go, that perhaps it holds out. I can't confirm that 100%, but I could have swore I heard that.
You know what? I don't know. A lot of times that these things that have come up have been in the post merge. I know that Davie had a chance to get an idol that was going to be good for a couple of tribal councils, and then Chris Noble had one that was good for a couple of tribal councils. I really don't know what the rules are. When Ron Clark had the advantage in this past season, I think it was for 3 tribal councils. I don't think they didn't call it like 3 episode cycles. So I think that the precedent is like basically each tribal council that it happens, but I think they'll let us know, where we'd just be speculating.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is what happened with Ron Clark. I don't. The other thing I just wanted to point out is I know you guys have been talking about, why Rob and Sandra are actually spending time on the island and not like going back to a hotel at night.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember hearing in the preseason that one of the deals for them to come is they wanted these days to count towards their total Survivor days. And so I think that's why they're insisting on the island.
That's so this is counting towards, so did they want to have like the most days ever on Survivor, and so that they got the 39. What, you can't count these days that they can't be voted out. That's like counting Jeff Probst's days on Survivor.
I agree, but that was the deal. That's what they said.
Where
they wanted.
Did you read this? The Weekly World News?
Wigler. It might have been a Josh Wigler interview.
I have to get this confirmed. That's ludicrous. You cannot count these days towards them being on Survivor. How many days on Survivor does Matt Van Wagenen have?
I agree.
Yeah. So you can't count. And why do they even care? What is it?
Are you kidding? Why does Boston Rob care?
I mean, to me, I don't think that Boston Rob is the kind of guy that, Sandra, I could see. Sandra, is, she's the queen. She wants the most days. I could see that. But Rob, I don't think he cares about that type of stuff. Like, I think that, Rob has had so much success on Survivor. I don't think that particular record would matter to him.
All I can say is I remember reading it in some interview, and my guess is he probably told Josh the same thing.
Okay. Well, let me let me see if I can. Somebody send me the link if they end up finding that. All right, Scott. Anything else going
on? Do we want to talk RHAP at all?
If it's quick.
Okay. Well, basically, I just want to let. Is somebody doing Wheel or No Wheel, or do you want me to start working on that?
So I'm not sure. I think that Akiva was telling me it was close. So I'm not sure necessarily if what exactly was going into. So that might just be a Akiva email.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and check with Akiva then.
But I'm excited for it. I love the idea.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, the new RHAP is dropping, I think, Saturday night with Ali Lasher about Your Problems Are Trash.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Scott, take care, buddy.
Take it easy.
Okay. Bye. All right. Let me do maybe 1 or 2 more calls, depending on how quick they go, because I have to go pick up. We got really bad wildfires going on here in California. My kids are on a half day from school, so I got to go start picking kids up from school. All right. Carlos in Los Angeles. Let me hear how Carlos is doing. See if he has any updates for me on the wildfires. All right. Let's bring on Carlos. Okay. All right. Carlos, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Very good. I'm reading in the chat. Maggie says, Rob, you should stop allowing people to come on to shout out to friends. So meaningless. So no shout outs, Carlos. I hope you weren't planning on shouting out anybody.
No.
Okay.
I just had a question for you. How much do you think the producers influence the game of Survivor as it's happening? Because I'm really
in what
thinking,
way?
Yeah, I'm thinking the heroes versus hustlers versus healers with Ben.
Yeah.
And him getting idol after idol, and an idol even being placed under where he sleeps. It made it feel like that they were gunning for him to win.
Mm-hmm. I don't know necessarily if like the idol under where where he sleeps. I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly like how it went down. I know people don't love the immunity idols. I mean, from everybody that I hear from who's out there, they say it's on the up and up. I haven't heard anybody come out and say like, let me tell you that this is completely, the fix was in. And so right. If the people who are there aren't saying those things, then far be it from me. Are there too many idols in the game? I do think so. I'd like to see Survivor institute a rule where you can't play an idol back-to-back tribal councils in a row. So I think that might make people a little bit more having to think about, okay, if I play an idol now, I got to win immunity, or can't play an idol this next time out. So maybe have like a little bit more of a cost to it, as opposed to just having the game turn so much into a scavenger hunt towards the end of the season. What do you think?
Right. No, I agree, because I feel Ben absolutely doesn't win that season without idols. And I feel it takes away from the social aspect of the game, where if you can just get an idol every time to save yourself, then it's just less strategy.
Yeah, I hear you. So I think that I don't think we need to get rid of the immunity idols, but I would like to see them, you can't just, ride idols all the way to the end.
Right.
Okay. All right. Anything else going on, Carlos?
Again, with that producer question, and I was thinking to this season with Elizabeth choosing to take on Rob.
Yeah.
Whether it be not being a huge Survivor fan, or the producers maybe pushing her, take him on, even though she saw him, start that fire in minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I think that there's a lot there. I think that Elizabeth probably didn't want to disappoint everybody that was there. Also, you're on the island of the idols. There's 25-foot heads of Rob and Sandra. Everybody's ready to go. This is your chance. I think for her to say, yeah, I think I'm good. I think it's like then like, come on, don't you want to get an idol? Don't you want to make a big move? And so exactly. I don't think that there was anything other than just a sense of pressure. Like, I don't think that they told her she had to. Boston Rob told us in the episode that, why didn't she negotiate? Why didn't she play a little more hardball? But I do think there was an expectation from her that she was going to have to do it because she was there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Carlos, thank you so much for the call. Okay. And let me talk to John in Massachusetts. And then, John, this will be the last word. Okay. All right. Here is John in Massachusetts. Thank you, Kathleen, in the chat. It says, your interview with Ron Clark was excellent. Such great insights from both of you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
John, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Very good, John. I like your headphones.
Thanks. They're wireless, so that way I won't bang my computer with them.
You got it. Okay. All right. John, you're so much fun.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right.
What do you
want to talk about?
Honestly, I did not expect Vince to be voted out. I really thought he would be safe because he had the idol, but just it was so.
Did you think he was getting the most votes? Were you saying like Vince, you're crazy, play your idol?
Yeah, but I really thought like the whole plan was to get Tom out. I was like, oh, this ought to be interesting if they're able to pull it off. And then they just throw this curveball and just wow.
Yeah, I thought Karishma was going to go home. I thought we didn't see enough from Tom that he was going to be the person to go home.
Yeah, because like when they were talking about Tom and just him like laying around at shelter, that was when I was like, I think they're going to target him. They're going to target him for sure.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Yeah, Vince was good. I thought he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, like he was one of my winner picks to win a whole season, and now he's gone. Now I'm going to have to find someone else.
I wonder if that we'll see Rob and Sandra change their approach in that they worked with Vince and then he got voted out. I wonder if we'll see them now, the next person that comes to the edge the Island of the Idols, if they'll say like, hey, listen, if you're feeling any pressure, play your idol. Like, don't go home with it in your pocket.
Yeah, like that's the one mistake you do not want to make. If you have an idol, you can't feel comfortable at all in the game of Survivor. Just because you have an idol doesn't mean like, oh yeah, like I don't need to play. I might as well just slip it in my pocket. And then other people are going to target you. Like that's the most dumbest decision you can make.
Yeah, better to look like a dum-dum and play it at the wrong time than to play it or than to not play it and go home with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, John,
Yeah.
anything else going on?
Let's see. Do you have like a top 3 winner picks for the season, or are you still like undecided?
If I was going to tell you the top, I'll say the top 3 contenders. I picked Chelsea in the preseason. I think that she's still looking really strong. I think that Tommy is definitely still up there. And then if I was going to pick a third contender for the title, I'll say Missy. I think that those are maybe the top 3.
That's interesting.
Janet, I think, is in there also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. John, all right. Let me run. Great to talk to you, buddy. Okay. All right. Amanda in Roseville is on the line. Okay. I said that John was going to be the last word. Okay. We'll squeeze in Amanda. Okay. And then we're going to then jump off after that. But thank you guys who were calling in here and chatting with me on the fan line today on our Fancred Friday. We'll do this again next Friday. Actually, next Friday I'm going to be flying back from, but we'll do this on more Fridays. Okay. We lost Amanda. Okay. All right. But thank you guys so much for joining us. And so if you want to do this, we'll do this in this time slot, and we'll talk to you guys on the Fancred app. If you want to get ahead of the game for the next time out, get the Fancred app now so you can jump on whenever we do one of these on a Friday afternoon. Of course, we're going to have our patron Facebook. We'll do it on Saturday this weekend because I got to talk to Lirsa tonight. Had a patron 5 for 5 as well this week. So that's all in our patron podcast feed over at robhasawebsite.com/patron. Get your Wiggle Room songs in as well for the wand off and much more. It's going to be a really fun week on the podcast and leading up to our live show in New York on Wednesday night. So thanks everybody over at Fancred who made this possible. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.